All right, let's go over groups. In Studiometry, the groups list is all the way on the left here, in the leftmost pane. At the top of the groups list, we'll see our built-in groups, such as clients and projects and contacts. And when we select any of these groups, those items will appear in the second pane, and then we can select them from here to see information about those items. We can actually customize the built-in groups list by going down to the bottom, clicking the gear icon and selecting View Settings. And from here we can then check or uncheck each item in the Show Groups list. Now after that, we can actually create our own custom groups. To do that, we click the plus button, and then we would either select New Group or New Smart Group. We'll start with a new non-smart standard group. You can see it shows up with just a folder icon because that's pretty much what it is. You can drag items into this group and they'll be there later so that you can easily access that group of items. So if we wanted to add a couple of projects, we would just drag them into the group and then they'll be added there. We can come back later and select the group to see those projects and click on the projects here to view their information. It's pretty simple. It's an easy way to store items to find them later. The next thing that we'll create is a smart group. Now, a smart group is very similar to a standard non-smart group in that it's just a collection of clients or projects or contacts or to-dos, but instead of manually dragging the items into the group to add them, we just create a set of rules and the group will automatically update to show all items that match those rules. To create a new smart group, we again go to the plus button at the bottom left and then we select New Smart Group. So in this window, we can customize the group's name. We can set whether it's a public or private group, which we'll go into more detail about later. And then at the bottom, we can create the group's rules. Now you can see under clients, projects, to-dos, and contacts, you can create a rule for each item type. So what we want to do is create a group here for, let's say, projects where the status equals quote. So that's really simple to do. All we would then do is go under the project rules section and click the plus button, and that will add a new row with just a blank rule. Now to customize this, we would then click here in the leftmost column to change which field that we want the group to match. So we would change it to status equals quote. Now we can click on equals to say does not equal, and we can click on quote to get our full list of project statuses. But really it's as simple as just adding a rule and then customizing it to however you want it to match. Now I'm going to go up here really quick and change the group name. And then when I hit OK, it will create that group. Now when I select it, it'll show all of the projects that I have where their status equals quote. If we change a project to the quote status, it will then show up in this group, and if we change it away, it will automatically disappear from this group. So it's a very easy way to see a live updated list of items that match certain rules. Now you can create as many groups as you'd like with as many rules in each group as you'd like, and you can rearrange the groups, delete them, hide them, however you'd like to. Now, if you're using Studiometry with multiple employees, each employee can actually have their own customizable list of groups here. What that also means then is that if a specific employee creates a new group, that will not appear for everyone else. You can share groups between employees, but it won't happen automatically. So to share the groups, what you would want to do is click on the gear icon on the bottom left, and then click Manage Groups. And this will bring up the group management window. And from here we can do a few things. First we can see My Groups, which if we're signed in as an employee, which currently we are, it will show the groups that were created by that employee. These were the two groups that we created in this example. Now if we wanted to, for example, share one of these groups with another employee, all we would do is select the group on the left and then check whichever employees that we want to share it with on the right. It's very simple. Then when that employee logs in, it will appear under their groups list on the bottom left. And the other thing we can see here is information about groups that were created by other employees. If an employee creates a group and they check it as a public group, then we will be able to actually go in ourselves and subscribe to that group. We would just simply check it here, and then it would add us to that group. And then when we hit done, that group will appear in our list. Now we can customize this group. If we add an item to Jeff's group, then Jeff will see that that item was added, and vice versa. So this will be a shared group between us. Jeff is still the owner of this group, but because it's public, multiple employees can view it and modify it. Now if I go back to manage groups, we can see, all of the public groups are available here. If we create a group and it's a non-public group, it will not appear here for other employees. The only way for them to then be assigned to a non-public group is if we manually assign them to that group from our Manage Groups window. So you have ways to limit who can view and modify which groups. So that's the basic intro to groups. Now you can do a lot more with groups in Studiometry. You can actually use them to filter your summaries. You can use them in various other parts of the program. But it's really a great way to create either custom or smart sets of items in Studiometry.